Yo, slap me and I'll slap your back. Where my warriors at? Revolt like the militant Malcolm X with the red, black, and green Marcus Garvey on my chest. Revolt like the great one Nat Turner with the guard you nows, hammers and burners. Revolt like the militant Malcolm X with the red, black, and green Marcus Garvey on my chest. Revolt like the great one Nat Turner with the guard you nows, hammers and burners. 7 heads, 10 horns, self-power, the unification of us all in the 11th hour. Death to coon cowards, motherfucker, they are enemies. Let them bullets rain like a shower, for the blossom like flowers, shine like the radiant.
New Bagalino presents Bensonhurst Stories for MarlboroProjects, past and present. State your name.
Show White.
So where you were born at?
Brooklyn, New York. MarlboroProjects, 1973.
We giving a perspective on as you a kid growing up towards now with racism. Like, what's the difference from now and when you're a kid growing up, going to school or running errands for your mother, anything?
Difference. See, growing up.
All right, let me put it like this. Give me a story or an example or something or your perspective on your first time realizing racism. Seth Low Junior High School, 1988. Coming out, going in the yellow school bus. On our way home, a bunch of white boys waiting for us to come out to school. They come out as soon as we get off the bus. Out to school, we getting on the bus, they chatting Howard Beach. They rocking the bus back and forth. They try to tip the bus over.
And they would try to tip the bus over. And that's when I first realized that we wasn't welcome.
We come back outside, we fighting, we swinging. White boy cut me with a razor. My man, one of my mans of them, the big homie, knocked Duke out right in front of me. Stomped them out. Next thing you know, the next day they came up there with bats. Kings Highway boys, Bay Parkway boys. Shit was crazy, Just went nuts, man.
So like, alright, so back then, right, it was a situation when Yusuf Hawkins got killed. You remember Yusuf Hawkins?
Yeah.
How did you feel when you heard Yusuf Hawkins got killed?
I was fucked up because we used to always go over there and chill out on that area. We played basketball in that area.
So how did you feel?
It's like hurt, man. Everybody, we couldn't go outside. White people was terrorizing us. They had us terrorized for a minute. Parents wouldn't let us go nowhere near there. We ain't understand it then, but we understood it as we got older.
Alright, so check it, right? I know you had a fight with a black brother before, right? Am I correct?
Correct.
Did you ever have a fight with a white man, boy?
Definitely did. PS97.
Alright, check it. Does it feel the same fighting a black guy as fighting a white boy?
Not at all.
How did it feel?
Felt great whooping that white boy ass. Feel bad fighting your brother.
Exactly. I hear you though. But can you elaborate on that story and like how old were you and when that went down?
PS97, 6th grade. Once again, getting out of school. White boy, his mother used to always.
And I couldn't run because I broke my leg. And he called me, he said nigga, and he had a bunch of boys across the street, so I was like, I can't fuck with this. But he pushed me against the fence, and he started swinging on me. So I had to cover up and just, go to blow with him. And then I had to dash.
The chasing home started in 212. Because they would have days, we had, he was a custodian in the school, and he wore a boot. So, we're children, and we would laugh. And one day, he felt the need to try and chase us home. So as he's running with the boot, he can't catch us. And there's a man, he's driving in a car, and he drives, and he speeds up, and he tries to cut my brother Dondi off.
Train. One night I got off the F train. I don't remember what year it was. Maybe it was 79, it was 80. Getting off the F train, and they were under the stairway. 8 of them. They all had bats. and I was running for my life. I don't know how I got away, but I made it to the projects.
So Donnie jumped over the car, but I stopped. So when I stopped, he got out his car and he picked me up by my neck, up off my feet, and dropped me to the floor and caught me up. That's how.
Wow, that's crazy. He was a grown man.
It was a grown man.
Always come up and pick him up. She hated black people. So when we came out, we was in the same class and shit. So as soon as we came out, his mom's grabbed my arm and was like, don't speak to my son, don't speak to my son. And the little white boy hit me. We jumped him all the way across the street, me and my homeboy Devo, the big fella. And we whooped his ass back and forth, and then me and him fought all day waiting for the bus to come. His moms kept spitting at us, and yo, it's crazy. Crazy.
All right, so before we wrap it up, right? All right, like, do you have a situation where you didn't have the wins over the white person, where maybe you had to go on an errand with your mother down on Avenue X, or maybe you had to go to Bay Parkway or Cropsey Avenue and encounter some bigotry or some Italians?
I was with my moms though.
No, I mean somewhere where your mother sent you, or you just had to be somewhere out of Marlboro domain, like you was way out of, you was in the white Italian territory. Did you know anything where you didn't have the wins, where you had to hightail it out of there? You had to back out, or you know what?
Shit, Lafayette coming home one day.
You ever have a life and death situation from the Italians around here?
Well, I know one day I was in John Dewey High School, and a Spanish kid I should hang out with, he came knocking my classroom door. He was like, yo, we gotta go. So I said, yo, they outside. And in his bag, he had an axe and a shotgun. That's how serious it was. So
I'm fighting against grown men. We used to call each other on the big yellow phones. We had the big phones with the long cord. Call each other, yo, bring a baseball bat. You know how the Mets and the Yankees had the little baseball bats? We used to bring those. We used to bring knife sticks, and we like in 3rd and 4th grade. We fighting against grown men.
Come home from basketball practice, flames, cutting through the parking lot, cutting through the schoolyard. And me, Mike Bond, Jason Harmon, Rudy Lopez, coming home, and these white boys was driving in a Trans Am, driving right past us. So my man Jason Harmon throws a bottle at the car. They sped around and chased us into Marlboro. They drove the car into Marlboro, like straight through the projects. We ran to our building. They got out the car in front of my building. Come back downstairs, you fucking niggas. Banging them shits on the floor. We hiding in the cubbies, because we had cubbies back then. Yeah, we hiding in the cubbies and shit in the yo, wild shit.
Yeah. But like,
it's just Marlboro, man. I never had to really deal with it like that though.
Yeah. Were you living up out here when Willie Turks on Avenue X got murdered?
Yeah, I was here.
And were you here when Yusuf Hawkins got murdered?
I was here.
All right. How did you feel when you heard the news of Yusuf Hawkins and Willie Turks? How did you feel?
I felt less than. I felt neglected. I felt like it could have been me, or it can be me. My life was in fear every day, you know, and sometimes my life's still in fear. I'm in California now, and it's going on everywhere. You can't run.
I asked everybody this. I know you had a fight with a black man. Did you ever have a fight with a white boy or anything like that?
I had a couple of them, not this year, but I had one in Manhattan one day, St. Patrick's Day. This white boy told me, I knocked the fuck ass out. I ain't gonna lie, hit him and he went down. So I took off, I went on.
Did it feel the same as fighting a black man?
Nah.
No, in there. How did you feel?
Felt good.
Felt good, all right.
I felt good, I ain't gonna lie. I felt good.
Do you remember when Willie Turks got killed?
Yes.
And Yusuf Hawkins, you remember when them 2 men got killed?
Yes. One was at the bagel shop and the other one was down Bensonhurst.
All right. How did you feel when you heard the news of Bensonhurst and Willie Turks?
We was like, you gotta remember, at the same time, we still was young too. We was teenagers.
Exactly.
We was like teenagers, and we was like, yo, we don't walk down no blocks, man. That's fucked up, man. Mind you now, we was playing Flames, and then some of them blocks like this, like we had to walk down the block in them churches.
Like I asked all my other brothers on here, you had a fight with a black man before, right?
Yes.
Did you ever have a fight with a white man?
Yes.
Now, does it feel the same fighting a white man as you fighting a black man?
No, it's a difference.
How did it feel? Elaborate.
I felt like fighting a brother I held back. But when I was fighting a white boy, I wanted to give him back everything that he was giving my ancestors. So I wanted to kill him. But, you know, my mindset was there when I was younger. I don't feel like that now. But it was totally different. I wanted to torture him, not a brother. So it was different. Yeah, it was totally
You
different.
around here when Willie Turks got murdered on Avenue X?
Hell yeah, and shot and left us here unprotected.
How did you feel when you heard the news about that?
I hate to say it, but it's nothing new for around here. Mother was getting jumped, killed, shot. One of the somebody got shot right here not too long ago. Well, back right before that happened. Somebody got shot right there at 86th Street. And it was one of the older cats from around here when I was younger. I was like, what?
A white boy shot him?
I think so. Yeah, it was. It was a drive-by.
Had to really
All right.
deal with it like that, though.
Okay. For the young people coming up that don't see the racism, don't see the bigotry, do you have any advice and words for them? Even though it's still here, the racism, the bigotry, but do you have any words for them?
And only thing I can say, man, y'all kids growing up, stay humble. Y'all don't gotta think about these white dudes, but show them respect if they showing y'all respect, because they're the first dudes to pull the triggers. Stop killing each other, man. Facts.
Slap me and I'll slap your back. Where my warriors at? Revolt like the militant Malcolm X with the red, black, and green Marcus Garvey on my chest. Revolt like the great one Nat Turner with the guard you nows, hammers and burners. Revolt like the militant Malcolm X with the red, black, and green Marcus Garvey on my chest. Revolt like the great one Nat Turner with the guard you nows, hammers and burners. 7 heads, 10 horns, self-power, the unification of us all in the 11th hour. Death to coon cowards, motherfuckers.